that's just some house music as you all took your seats. Thanks for joining me. The 100 will start now. As you can see, I'm in front of a beautiful chalk drawing that my sister-in-law Christine made, and my brother Sean, her husband, is helping with the tech stuff for today and running the camera. So the 100, the idea for this has been, I guess, has come across for about 5 years. I guess it's been growing for about 5 years. One of my strongest identities as a person is as a musician, and my strongest identity as a musician is as a songwriter, even more so than a vocalist or a guitarist or a pianist. So if you follow my music for any duration, you know that I'm in the middle of recording 2 studio albums that are taking a long time. So I wanted to have a way to just have a simple and raw chance to share a more complete and comprehensive look at the songs that I've written over the last 5 or 7 years. And so my vision for this is for it to be pretty raw and pretty unrehearsed. Not completely unrehearsed. I did play through some of the songs this morning, but it had been years since I had played some of them. So thanks for joining me. If you're on now, I appreciate it, or if you're watching when this is archived, that's great too. This first song I wrote my sophomore year of college. It's a song about the freshness of an attraction, those classic butterflies, and kind of when you're in that situation where there's a person that you can't stop thinking about or noticing, but you know that they probably don't even know that you exist. And so it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of a silly little song about just having butterflies for someone and always noticing them around. So I get asked a lot, you'll probably find out over the course of these 100 songs that a lot of my songs have a lot to do with heartbreak, and I get asked a lot, why don't you write more happy songs, why don't you write more love songs? And this is kind of exhibit A why I don't write songs like this more often, because I think they come across just pretty sappy and silly. So out of the top 100 songs I've ever written, I think this one is just the worst. But I hope you like it, and you very well may. It's called Looks Like Rain. Hello, she says, with eyes so bright they could light up this whole town. Hello, I say, scared by the way it sounds. But she doesn't know I do. So I'll fake my way through being introduced. Every time she smiles, it's like the sun comes out again, chasing all the gray away. Every time she leaves, it's like a storm is rolling in. It looks like rain. Yeah, tut-tut, it looks like rain. I saw her on the stairs today in the early afternoon, and her impromptu smiling, how are you, made me swoon. She smiles, it's like the sun comes out again, chasing all the gray away. Every time she leaves, it's like a storm is rolling in. Oh, tut-tut, it looks like rain. Oh, tut-tut, it looks like rain. Every time she smiles, it's like the sun comes out again, chasing all the gray away. Every time she leaves, it's like a storm is rolling in. Oh, 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 tut-tut, it looks like rain. Tut-tut, it looks like rain. Alright, so the next song I'm going to play is one that I actually forgot about until I started compiling this list. It's called Love Will Be Fine Without Me. And when I set up this list of 100 songs, it was kind of tedious, I guess. I had to gather them from a lot of different places. So I have like lists that I used to write when I was younger. I really liked to write out any song that I wrote because it felt kind of official, I guess. And then, of course, I plan a lot of different albums, so I associate certain songs in certain orders and have scattered demos all across the internet. And so I aggregated all of those, and this song came up on a list that when I read the title of it, I was like, I couldn't remember. I was like, what song is this? So it came back to me slowly, and I had to kind of laugh. It's a pretty silly one, but it's called Love Will Be Fine Without Me. It's written from a pretty jaded place. It's kind of a sarcastic look at probably a misperception of love that I had at the time. I wrote it about 5 years ago. So here it is. It's like war, but also a game that you kill for, just to play, but no more. No, I can't take it again. No, no, no. 'Cause if love is strong, why have I fallen from its breaking branches? And if love is real, why must it wake me from my dream romances? Love is true, well then I believe love will be fine without me. Oh, fine without me. Should you find me scared and alone, just remind me it's all I've known, and there is safety on the ground where I can't be let down. Can it not stand on its own? Can it not speak for itself? Can it not stand on its own? Oh, oh, oh. If love is strong, why have I fallen from its breaking branches? If love is real, why must it wake me from my dream romances? If love is true, well then I believe love will be fine without me. Love will be fine without me. Love will be fine without me. Oh, fine without me. Alright, we're 2 songs into the top 100 list, so we're at number 98. We're going to go through 91 today, take them off 10 at a time. So, this is a song I wrote with my old band called Whitestone. That was my brother Sam and my cousin Kurt, and we were a band in high school. And that was probably the most energetic and exciting time for me to write, because I was recording with band members and guys who were real supportive. And of course in high school I had much bigger dreams too of where music might take me, and a lot of Christian bands that were role models that we tried to emulate. And this is a song I wrote in that season. It's called Find Myself in Your Scars. Been awake since midnight, wrestling with words I can't write. I pray that you'll hear them, admit that I fear them. But how do I voice depression? I've tried and I failed suppression, gave up all should be enough. Alright, this next one's one of the newer ones that I'll be playing today. It's probably about a year old. It's called If I Needed You Now. I know it's a reflection on just everything that the Lord has done for me and does for us as believers, and the way that sometimes I freak out about life, but God's had me all along. And being 27 years old and feeling like I had no idea what I was doing for the duration of those 27 years, and yet still being here. And the Lord certainly has His hand on us, as well as having His hand on the world. And so all we really need to do is trust and do our best, I guess. So this is a song about having the Lord and thus not needing Him, but if we did need Him, if we were in need of Him, meaning that we didn't have Him, we'd be in a heap of a mess. I must be careful with the sunset, become attached too easily. I know it will be dark soon. I know it will be hard for me. It's a miracle I got here. When I did not even try, helps to know I'm losing moments that were never mine. And I would be lost if I needed you now. I would be lost if I needed you now. You are branching out inside me, like the veins of a new leaf. It's almost like I'm tearing. Somehow you are growing me, and I would be lost if I needed you now. And I would be lost if I needed you now. And I would be lost if I needed you now. Whoa, and I would be lost if I need you now. Ooh. We're down to, looks like number 96. This one's called The Way I've Let Her Down. It's a, I guess it's not capoed actually. That's probably the hardest thing to remember. Not the lyrics or the chords, but did I capo this song and on what fret? That's the one that tripped me up the most. So, The Way I've Let Her Down, let's see. This was another one that was written for a Whitestone project that never came to fruition. So I think that album we worked on in the summer of 2009. And, especially that long ago, I was pretty poor at writing songs about experiences that I was going through at the time. So I pretty much would look forward and anticipate or imagine, like put myself in someone else's shoes or my own shoes in the future, I guess, and write kind of hypothetically. Or I'd write a about something in the past that happened a long time ago that I had finally processed. So a lot of my songs really aren't that attached to personal experiences for me. And this one in particular wasn't really about anything that was going on at the time. It was just, I just wanted to write a sad song. So I guess listening to the radio and other artists, I always felt the most moved or touched by songs of heartbreak. And I guess in a selfish way, I thought, man, I want to be able to move people like that song moved me. And sad songs seemed to be the fast track and the easy way to do that. So this is one of those songs that really doesn't have a purpose. It just is supposed to hit you in the feels, I guess. It's called The Way I've Let Her Down. Memories of the wall and the pictures hanging in the hall, and I can see her standing there. I don't remember what she said to me, whether question or request. I wish I'd not settled for anything less. I don't think I'll ever be free from the way that I've let her down. And I don't know why our shoulders turn cold like the frost that the morning has found. But that's the way I've let her down. Memories of the room and the way the memories fade too soon, and all the frozen faces melt. We used to make each other laugh so well, but that was long before we fell. Yeah, I wish we'd not settled for anything else. I don't think I'll ever be free from the way that I've let her down. I don't know why our shoulders turn cold like a song with no thrill in the sound. But that's the way I've let her down. From the way that I let her down. And I don't know why our shoulders turn cold like the sky, making war with the ground. But that's the way I've let her down. I pray that peace is somewhere to be found. Probably good to follow that one up with a love song, an actually loving song. A lot of these that are ranked lower in my list just tend to be older songs, I guess. It's just kind of a bias towards stuff that I've written recently, and I guess you want to believe that you're always improving your craft in some sense. It has been fun to go back through this list and see which ones kind of rose to the top, and some of the top 10 are pretty old, in fact. But I guess I say all that because a lot of these songs are Whitestone songs, kind of down at the bottom. That's just because they're 5, 6, 7 years old. So this one's called Everything I Am, and it was from our album. It was our second studio release. I use the term studio pretty liberally, I guess, but the album was called Over My Head, Under My Skin, and this was, I think, the 8th track from that album. Everything I Am, sort of a pathetic look at, hey, I can't be everything you need, so don't expect it, but I'm going to try. And that's basically the gist of this song, but it's of course more eloquent than that. And I used to do this thing where I put the capo on all but 2 strings. It just kind of hangs on for dear life as I play. Early, I woke up cold. I could not catch my breath. I dreamed that this love I hold was falling awkward, shattering to death. To be the one you lean on when this whole world gives way. But it's harder than it sounds. So don't expect too much from me, 'cause I cannot be everything you dreamed. Still I'm trying, but I do not have everything. I cannot give you everything you need, but I'll give you everything I am. In this moment, in my heart, I can't escape the truth. I speak softly and sing sweet songs, but those may never be enough for you. I want to be the one you count on when everything else fails. But strength is not my strength, so don't expect too much from me, 'cause I cannot be everything you dream. Still I'm trying, but I do not have everything. I cannot give you everything you need. I'll give you everything I am. I want to be the one God gave you to be, your everything. But I'm nothing on my own. Lord, don't expect too much from me, 'cause I cannot be everything she dreams. Lord, I'm willing, but I do not have everything. I cannot give her everything she needs. Don't expect too much from me. I cannot be everything you dream. Still I'm trying. I do not have everything, so I cannot give you everything you need. I'll give you everything I am. Ooh. Ooh. I woke up early, I woke up cold. I could not catch my breath. Well, that's fun. I haven't played that song in years, probably. It's really fun to go back and give them some attention. That's really the whole point of this, the 100, as I'm calling it. A lot of these songs are not ones that I would pick to perform at a coffee shop if I had a show tonight, or to record if I were going to go into the studio today. But as as a songwriter, even if these songs aren't 100% fantastic, there's at least nuggets in each of them, I think, that I like to hold on to, and it's good to revisit. So this next song is actually the one that kind of sparked this idea of just going back and giving attention to these kinds of songs that otherwise are kind of lost in my wasteland of songs that I've written. This one's called Waking Up. It's probably I don't know if it's the oldest one on the list, but I think it's the oldest one that I'll be playing tonight. What else can be said about it? I guess I'll just play it. Waking Up, I think I wrote it, would have been sophomore year of college, I think, which is probably longer ago than it seems. Look at you, you're the one standing there patiently. Look at me, everyone wondering what's wrong with me. And I grew, but you were so scared you were losing me, pulling further from the love we knew. I might make it, you might not, but we're here together now. You remember, I forgot, that is not all better now. You are the innocent, I've been condemned by the proof. You are the sunrise and I am the twilight that ruins you. And gone are the days of thinking that I was made for you. You are a dream that I'm waking up to. You're the one standing there patiently. Look at me, everyone wondering what's wrong with me. I grew, but you were so scared you were losing me, pulling further from the love we knew. We might not, but we're here together now. Pain is passing, love is not, and it's here forever now. You are the innocent, I've been condemned by the proof. You are the sunrise and I am the twilight that ruins you. And gone are the days of thinking that I was made for you. You are a dream that I'm waking up to. Oh, you are the innocent, I've been condemned by the proof. You are the sunrise and I am the twilight that ruins you. And gone are the days of thinking that I was made for you. You are a dream that I'm waking up to. You are a dream that I'm waking up to. This next one is called Between the Screaming and the Weeping. I think for a while it probably had the standing as the longest title of a song I'd ever written. I think that record has since been broken, but this was another one from a Whitestone collection that we never finished recording. I can't really think of a specific experience that this came from. It was more of a song wanting to encourage and uplift, more of an outward-looking song, written to sort of, I guess, an unnamed third person. It wasn't written for a particular person. I remember, for some reason, it stands out to me that I wrote this song, maybe not on Thanksgiving, but while home with the family for Thanksgiving break, between the screaming and the weeping. There's something in your eyes, something hiding deep inside, and somehow I can't read you like I could. On any other night, I'd make my guess and I'd be right, but somehow I can't reach you like I would. The bravest words fall through, the tightest hugs must let go loose. My constant prayer for you, you'll find it's true. And in between the screaming and the weeping, you'll find God. From the sunrise to the good night, when all the lights go off, He's somewhere in between. His promise breaks the wind, a shelter from the storm of sin. Forever is the praise and glory be. His every word is true. This broken life He's making new. My constant prayer for you, you'll find it's true. And in between the screaming and the weeping, you'll find God. From the sunrise to the good night, when all the lights go off, He's somewhere in between. In between the screaming and the weeping, you'll find God. From the sunrise to the good night, when all the lights go off, He's somewhere in between. Well, that takes us down to number 92. So we had 2 more songs in today's set. Thanks so much for watching. If you're sticking with me through all these songs and are tuning in later, it means a lot to me. I spent a lot of my life riding into kind of a void, you know, where no one other than my family or maybe my dog even hears these songs. So being able to share them to you, if you're watching, it's special to me, and I hope that it's enjoyable and maybe meaningful on some level for you too. This set is chock full of Whitestone songs, and this one was going to be the title track. It was the abandoned project called Frames. This was going to lead off the album and be the title track. The song is called Frames, and I think it's going to require a little bit of water. In my, I guess, Christian writing, for lack of a better term, I went through stages where I really kind of felt, for some reason, like I was an authority. I don't know if it was just going to church as a kid and reading my Bible and learning a lot about the Lord. I thought by like age 18 I had it pretty well figured out, such that I could tell other people, kind of point the finger, and of course in an admonishing way, but some of these songs kind of make me cringe, even though they're really well intentioned, and especially ones that have to do with like social issues or like current issues. I really didn't know what I was talking about, but my heart was in the right place, and some of the lyrics are pretty good, but that's the fun of looking back, I guess. You have a different perspective, and I appreciate that different perspective on a lot of these songs. But the main gist of this one is it's still true, just being frustrated with kind of the structure of society and the limitations of our culture and the way we treat each other, and yearning for the day when all of those constructs and those frames are removed and Christ redeems the earth and we just commune with Him. There are frames on the wall, frames on the floor, a frame around the window, a frame around the door, frames to keep the children out, frames to box us in, frames to bring the faces back from wasted years we spent, frames to hold the wealthy up, and frames to hang the poor, frames to hide the edges we have learned to just ignore. Someday our frames will fall. I wanna lose it, wanna lose it. I wanna run so far we won't look back, we won't know where we are. And when we lose it, when we lose it, we will take our time redeeming love and learning how to shine. There are frames around our words, frames around our hearts, a frame around the mirror to help us look the part. Frames conceal the evidence that we are really have frames around our secret sins and what we feel, what we feel with Eden in our memories and heaven in our hearts. That we unite in love that makes us more than what we are. Someday these frames will fall. I wanna lose it, wanna lose it. I wanna run so far we won't look back, we won't know where we are. But when we lose it, when we lose it, we will take our time redeeming love and learning how to shine. Oh, oh, oh. Ah, ah, ah. La, 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 ooh, ooh. I wanna lose it, wanna lose it. Wanna run so far we won't look back, we won't know where we are. When we lose it, when we lose it, we will take our time redeeming love, learning how to shine. And then there was one, number 91. And it's called The Almost. The Almost. I actually wrote this song, this happens pretty rarely, but I wrote this song in the middle of the night. I actually woke up. I don't know if I actually was dreaming the lyrics or the melody, but it was like as soon as I woke up, it was right there. And So like 1 or 2 in the morning I got up and scribbled out the lyrics and just hoped to remember the melody the next morning, and thankfully I did, and then I wrote verses to it later. Yeah, pretty fond of this chorus in particular. If the verses were better, I probably would have ranked it higher on this list, but I thought it'd be a nice one to close out our time together today with. And another song about faith in the Lord and through hard times, which is a pretty cliche way to say it, but that's why I wrote the song, to be more clever, I guess. And there's actually a word that's not a word in this song, just sidebar. And I thought I made it up, but I remember today actually thinking about it. I had heard it in I went on like a 70s kick in college, and I can't remember if this was Bread or Crosby, Stills and Nash, some group like that. They had a song called Leftoverture, and I thought that was pretty clever. Leftover, overture, kind of smashed together. And somehow I worked it into this song. So yeah, the song is called The Almost, and it will we'll close out with it. Love, you can open your eyes now. In the midst of your chaos, I'm bringing you peace. Love, take my hand, you will find how the storm at its center is a safe place to be. You are all right. You are all right. In the darkest sunrise, in the tears that you can't cry, in the leftoverture of every song you've sung, in the line after the last pulse, in the grief of the almost, when your heart can't find the answers to it all, that's when I'll make you strong. Oh, love, can you hear in the distance all the sounds of the ocean, the threats of the sea? Oh, love, if you see a star falling, can you reach out and touch it or bring it to me? Where were you, child? Oh, when I hung the sky. Oh, in the darkest sunrise, in the tears that you can't cry, in the leftoverture of every song you sung, in the line after the last pulse, in the grief of the almost, when your heart can't find the answers to it all, that's when I'll make you strong. In the line after the last pulse, in the grief of the almost, when your heart can't find the answers to it all, that's when I'll make you strong. Thanks again for listening. We'll certainly let you know when we schedule the next set of 10. I guess it'd be songs 90 through 81. I hope you've enjoyed our time together, and have a great day. That's all we got for you. We'll catch you next time.